All right, so stop identifying with the past while you have the power. You have the spiritual ability to envision yourself, to feel yourself, so you can begin to communicate new, so you can begin to practicalize a new reality forth. Now, a lot of these things have to do with the things that we've been rooted and conditioned into via our subconscious brain in our early childhood circumstances. Because a lot of us felt certain things, saw certain things, a lot of the times perhaps non benevolent, and perhaps things that don't have to do with our highest possible good that were conditioned into our mind. Now that we have grown up, we're trying to learn to deal with these things, these negative emotions, these traumas, these stressful emotions that are embedded into our cellular structure that are actually struggle to leave us. So a lot of these experiences from the past, even though negative, may still be stuck into our system. We may be still be holding on to these things in the form of feelings that are very subconsciously rooted and may actually lead us to communicate and to practicalize our existence in such a way that does not take us to our highest possible good. So, a lot of these things that were conditioned into us, that were rooted into us, are not solid shapes and forms that actually shape our destiny. They only do that if we allow it to do that. So, what do I mean by that, right? A lot of the times we shape our future based on the past, and we live in the present based on the past rather than living in the present and identifying with that vision and bringing that shit into the goddamn present, right? Because if you can even imagine it, that means it's a possibility that exists in the future. You just have to be able to connect to that possibility and bring it into the present by force, by frequently being in that presence, by intensely being in that presence. Because what you're doing in this process is you're actually letting go of let's just look at it like it's sweat for a second, right? These are emotions, these are feelings that you need to sweat out of your body. Similarly, when you work out, you're actually releasing a lot of toxins in your body, because the only way isn't for you to take a shit when you eat food and toxins come out of your fucking asshole when you take a shit. You also release toxins from your skin by simply working out. And just similarly, a lot of the times we need to release those emotions by just letting go of those experiences and actually looking at those experiences with a new, empowering, positive filter that allows us to transmute those experiences from something that is perceived to be negative to something that can actually be rather positive and rather empowering, right? For me, for example, a lot of the times, me being the middle child, I had to experience me not getting attention, me not getting nurturing, and things like that. Your problems may not be as big as other people. For example, you might not be a child soldier in Uganda, and your trauma on the scale might be way more severe. But the thing is this: regardless of what happened to you, you cannot allow that experience to make you play a victim in your mind to the point that you give up your power based on you not having any power in a previous experience, in a previous existence, or however the case may be, right? We are here now to correct those thought patterns, to correct those feelings, so we can actually go in a healthy direction towards a future that is meaningful, to a future that we can actually experience our highest possible good on earth, and not necessarily keep on manifesting and experiencing experiences based on us not understanding our negative habit pattern and what we've been negatively rooted into, right? So you have to make a decision, you have to make a choice, because you're going to have to consciously and you're going to have to deliberately make those decisions throughout the seconds, throughout the minutes, throughout the hours, throughout the days, right? And you're going to have to understand as well that you are fighting a disposition that is inside of you, right? And we keep empowering that disposition by giving it our attention, by giving it our energy, by giving it our time. And your energy is a resource that is renewing the flesh of that negative aspect that is within you. You can, in religious theology, they look at these as negative feelings, maybe perhaps uh, demons. You know, in psychology, they might look at these things as a negative habit pattern, but all we know is that these feelings, these thoughts are causing us to repeat patterns that we want to get out of, so we can start to go into a positive habit pattern, so we can start to live our life in an empowered way versus living our life in a disempowered way, right? Because a lot of the times, based on us having certain chakra blockages, having certain experiences that perhaps even block our heart chakra, block your throat chakra, and things of that nature. So there may be things that you want to bring into awareness of the world around you, but you experiencing circumstances of you being powerless and you being a child, not understanding what was going on. Maybe you built some type of resentment, some type of anger, some type of hate towards others that, maybe true. Maybe the other person around you like did really fuck up. But at the end of the day, you're not forgiving them. You're not letting go of these experiences for them. You're doing these things for you because you deserve to be happy and you deserve to move on into a healthy, more self-empowering life. Not us repeating the same negative habit pattern and passing on our demons to other people. This is just spiritual STDs, spiritually transmitted diseases, spiritually transmuted diseases, where we make our lives harder and then we make our children's life harder, while really we should be making ourselves lighter, so the children, the offspring that we bring into the world next, their minds and their hearts can be lighter. And then we, as spiritual wise people, if we understand the realm of thoughts and feelings, we will also come to the understanding that protecting their mind is of the utmost priority, right? Well, a lot of the times our forefathers and our parents did not really understand that, and we were subjugated to these generational curses that they were under. And because they are under those fundaments of and ways of thinking and feeling, they may encourage us through non-benevolent means and try to enforce those patterns, because really they're not actually able to observe the pattern, and they're actually in a negative loop cycle, and they actually keep being in limbo, where even limbo in the Christian theology is described as a realm before hell. So it is a step into hell, however, it's not quite there yet. When the cycle keeps getting denser and denser, and you can't observe the starting point of that cycle, and sometimes there may be multiple starting points that lead to into multiple habits that allow that limbo cycle, that Ouroboros, that snake, to continue on without necessarily you noticing it. It may be hard to detect, but each individual knows exactly what they are doing to disempower themselves. Whether it's a negative habit, it's something that you indulge into too much that you know you shouldn't be indulging into, that's actually causing you to go to sleep on the things that you actually should be awake on in real life. There's a lot of these things around us. So we must do our due diligence to take care of ourselves, take care of our minds. Taking care of your mind is of the utmost priority, because through you, all possibilities, through you, Source may want to play out its message so it can actually speak onto the people of the world around us, so we can receive some new information, so we can receive some new energy, so we can all change our lives to the better. So don't identify with your negative habit pattern, no matter how severe it may be. Always envision and feel yourself in that new positive existence that you wish to play out. Because as you're seeing it, as you're feeling it continuously throughout the day, you will begin to communicate like it and you will begin to do those things. You simply just have to live there now and take your mind to that place and bring it into the present. Just like you bring your negative experiences from the past into the present, all you have to do is take your positive experiences, your highest possible good available to you on earth, and bring that shit into the present moment. This is your boy,